to all my coloring friends, both to those who have been here before and anyone who is new. If you are a new arrival, my name is Lauren, and in today's video we are continuing our Saturday snippet video focusing on coloring the nature scenes from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. So this is the page we are working on. And so far, we've colored all of the left side. This one's with polychromos, Prismacolors, luminance pencils, and we are working on these mushrooms using Derwent Color Soft. Let me just go through the pencils we'll be using. One moment. All right. Last time we did the mushrooms, and these are the colors we used. These are for the stems. And today we are going to be doing the background. So lime green, green, mid green, yellow green, and terracotta. And we're also going to do the leaves or fronds. So we're going to be using yellow ochre, deep cadmium, deep red, and loganberry. So these are all the pencils. I also have a white acrylic marker, Chartreus brand, and I have a brush. It's just a regular makeup brush that I have repurposed for brushing away pencil dust, because I noticed last time there was quite a lot of dust. I also have my tea, and if you're interested, the brand that I'm drinking is called Ochre tea, and this is cinnamon haze. It's delicious. I really love it. I think it's made in England. Yes, really wonderful tea. Highly recommended. Okay, so putting that aside, and we are going to get started. Right, so we are zoomed in and we are going to be coloring these leaves and these fronds. As I've said in the previous videos, it's very important for this page to have a really sharp pencil, because the images are really, really tiny, and there are really tiny small places to get into. So having a sharp point is crucial. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just put a base layer of yellow ochre onto all of these leaves, and I'm going to leave a highlight at the top of each leaf. Okay, so light strokes. I think that's the leaf there. Yeah, can't really see what the leaf is there. Yeah. So good morning to everybody. I hope that you are having a nice weekend. Again, if you're new here, these are chatty videos. If you don't want to listen to me ramble on, that's also okay. You can just mute me. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you're having a good weekend and a restful week. My week was not so restful, because if you were watching last week, you know that I was a bit under the weather, and I was still under the weather on Sunday. So I went to the emergency room, and I was told that I was quite dehydrated. So they put me on a drip. I must say, since then, I feel much, much better. So that's good. Okay, our next color is mid terracotta. Let's just give it a bit of a sharpen. This is my sharpener. I use a Tagal. Highly recommended. Okay, and this color we're just going to put at the bottom. Yeah, so that drip really helped me feel much, much better. Yeah, the emergency room was I live in a small town, so it's not a big emergency room. And it was actually quite busy. There were quite a few people getting drips. I think there must be a bug going around. Yeah, and right, so I started feeling better on Monday, which was great. So I could go to the pool. I didn't go to aerobics because I was still feeling, I don't know, I didn't know if I was up for that. So I just swam some laps. and that was nice. And I did go to aerobics yesterday, and there was a little bit of drama at the pool because some of the ladies, I'm pretty new to the group, the water aerobics group, and there are different instructors. It's not the same instructor every day, and I don't go every day. I just go like once or twice a week. Anyway, so there was some drama at the aerobics class because it was an instructor that the other ladies in the group don't really like. They were telling me that I like her. I mean, I've been to one of her classes and I really liked it because she did a lot of activities to strengthen muscles, which I need. Anyway, I digress. The ladies in the group don't really like her because they say she doesn't diversify the music and she doesn't diversify the routine. She's always doing the same routine, and they don't like that. And actually, that's probably why I will keep going back, because that means she will be working on the same muscle groups each time. So I'm okay with that, but they aren't. Anyway, drama. Next color is Loganberry. Let me just sharpen this one too. Okay, and this one, just the very, very, very bottom. Barely even touching the page. Yeah, so that was an update on my swimming. I also finished the book I was reading. I finished it last night. I stayed up a little bit later so that I could finish it because it was getting really good at the end. Sometimes I start the book and I read it a bit slowly because, nothing much is happening and I've got other things to do like coloring. But then when it starts to gain momentum, I'm like, okay, I have to finish this now. So I stayed up later than usual to finish it. The ending was really good. The book that I'm speaking about is it's called One Perfect Grave by Stacy Green. It's a police procedural about an FBI agent who returns to her small town. And this is the second book in the series, so she returned in the previous book, but there are cases that the local police struggle with, and she's helping out. Anyway, I really like this series. I'm thinking that Stacy Green, the author, is still getting into her groove when it comes to writing. Okay, next we have Deep Cadmium, and we're just going to use this to blend a little bit. So from the top down. Yeah, so that's the book I just finished. So now I need to choose a new book. So on Goodreads, I am in a group where we have a challenge. Each year we have a challenge. And this year, the challenge is to read books based on books you've read before. So each month, we choose between 3 to 5 books that we read that month. So I'm doing the 3 books a month because 5 is a bit much. I mean, I can read 5 books a month. It's just that I don't want to base my challenge on 5 books. Right, so those leaves are done. Let's move on to these fronds. And we're going back to our yellow ochre. Here, we're going to leave the highlight on the right side because the sun is coming from this direction. Yeah, so we choose 3 books that we read the previous month, and then we base our new books on those books. So that is where I am choosing my books from that list that I've got. And in the particular month that I'm doing, I have 3 books that I've chosen by Nora Roberts. I love Nora Roberts. She's one of my favorite authors. So I read a lot of her books. Because I read Come Sundown last month. And so this month I've got 2 books that meet the requirements for the challenge. One of them is called Undercurrents, and the other one is called The Inheritance. Okay, we're moving on to... Okay, I want these 2 to be slightly different from this one. So I think I am going to put Loganberry instead of Terracota. It should create a nice maroony color, the yellow and the Loganberry together, because the Loganberry is sort of a purplish red. See? So it should create a nice maroon color. Where was I? Right, so yeah, so I've got 2 Nora Roberts books to choose from. Undercurrents is romantic suspense, and The Inheritance, I can't remember, but I actually think it's the first book in a trilogy. Nora Roberts is a really prolific writer. She writes about 6 books a year. She writes 2 in-depth books, 2 trilogy books, and 2 romantic suspense books, I think, or maybe it's only 1 romantic suspense. Anyway, I don't know if I'm eager to start a trilogy right now, so I'm thinking that I will go for Undercurrents as my next book. That I'm reading, I get the books from the library, so I read them on my Kindle or on Libby. If you're not a reader, then Libby is the app that my library uses to get books. And I'm still listening to my audiobook. Okay. Oh, I like that. It's slightly different from that, not by very much. And now we're going to get the deep cadmium yellow and just blend this out. Yeah, so the audio book that I'm still listening to is Circle of the Moon by Faith Hunter. I haven't progressed very much since last week, just a little bit. The plot is starting to get going now. Okay, yes, I like those. They have a goldish look to them. I'm going to leave these for now because I'm debating whether to do them in these yellow colors or something else. So let's leave those for now and start on the background. Okay, so our background, let me just scooch the page over for a second. So our background is going to be something similar to that so that we keep a cohesive look to the page. Okay. So we're going to start with yellow green. Yes, we're going to start with yellow green. And we are going to put a light layer of this color over everything. Okay, so it's sort of like a light olivey green, and it's going to give us a nice undercoat for a brighter color that we will put on top. And by putting the muted undercoat, it will bring down the brightness of the, it's called lime green, and it's a very bright color. But if we put this undercoat first of a more muted color, it will mute the brightness of the lime green so that it won't be too harsh. Did I give you the pencils for Prisma in the beginning? I don't think so. So if you're using Prismacolors, then the yellow colors, yellow reddish colors that I used, let's stop for a second. The yellow ochre is also yellow ochre in Prismacolor. The deep cadmium is Spanish orange. The terracotta is terracotta in Prismacolor. Did I use the deep red yet? I don't think so. The deep red is Scarlet in Prismacolor. And the Loganberry is, I think the closest color to this would probably be Mahogany Red. Okay, and for the greens, lime green is lime peel or chartreuse, either one. Yellow green is, oh, I don't even think this, is this a color? Maybe moss green. Moss green is a bit more green than this. Let's just, let me look at my color chart. So yeah, yellow green would be moss green. Mid green would be Prussian green, and green would be dark green. And then, yeah, so those are the Prismacolors, equivalents to these. Anyway, back to yellow green. Yeah, so as I was saying, this will tone down the lime green color, which is very bright. If you use lime peel instead of chartreuse, you might not need this layer, but I think it'll give it a nice look, the two colors together. Yeah, so that's what I have been reading. I've also been watching Dateline still as I color. Was there an interesting case this week? What was it? Yesterday I watched the Alex Murdaugh case. He was convicted of killing his wife and son to deflect attention. Well, this was the prosecutor's claim anyway, that he did it to deflect attention away from his business problems. He'd been embezzling or cheating his clients. Yeah, very sad. Yeah, okay, so if you can see, I'm not sure you can see on camera, but there I have put the circle around the image, and it's going a little bit over here as well. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I did it very lightly because we'll be erasing it at the end. Okay. Right, now we are moving on to light green. And we're just going to put this in some places. Okay. What else did I do this week. I have an observer.
Yes.
Yes.
I observe that there are no sheep.
My roommate wants me to color sheep. She's going to get sheep this month. I do have I hope. I don't make any promises. Okay. So, yeah, she really wants me to color sheep. She's funny. Yeah, so as you can see, by putting down that light yellow green or that yellow greeny color, it's toning down the brightness of this lime green. Okay. Yeah, so I was watching that. I've also started watching The Gilded Age. I know that I'm behind. Everyone else has already watched it, but I'm slow to get to things. I also have this thing where I don't want to become attached to a TV show if it's going to get canceled. So a few years ago, there was a TV show called Flash Forward. I loved that show. It was so clever. So basically, the premise is that one day people are just going about their normal lives when the world seems to stop. Like, I think it was for like 15 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute. I can't remember how long. Hold on, let's get another color. Now we're going on to mid-green. Okay, and this is going in our shadow areas. Hold on, I'm just sharpening. Anyway, so the world sort of comes to a standstill for a minute and 30 seconds. I can't remember, never mind. And during that time, people sort of collapse, but they have a flash forward. In other words, when they wake up, they have memories of something that's going to happen to them in the future. Okay. And basically what's going on is the FBI are investigating, finding out why this happened, but also knowing what's going to happen in the future has affected how people live their lives. And so, for example, one couple sees that they're divorced. Another FBI agent, one of the FBI agents sees that he's shot. And so on. So it basically follows several characters as they cope with their flash forward. And unfortunately, it was canceled after one season. And we never find out why the flash forward happened or what happens to the characters. And ever since then, I have been very wary of getting attached to a TV show if there's only one season. So now I wait to make sure that there's more than one season before I get attached. Yeah, so I'm also the same with book series. For example, there's one series that I've been reading, and there are 11 books in the series, and I've read the first 9, but now the author has vanished. And there's no closure to this series, and I'm sort of, but I want to know what happens. All right, I'm just turning the page because it will be easier for me to color and show you what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's disappointing. Anyway, so back to the Gilded Age. I see now that there are 4 seasons, so I can watch. Okay, so we're putting this pencil in the shadow areas. else did I do this week? I'm trying to think. Oh, I went to the dentist. So I don't really have problems with my teeth. But I went to the dental hygienist about a couple of months ago, and she said I had a cavity. So my dentist has been taking care of that. Oh, the dentist is really expensive. But, you know, you have to look after your teeth. What am I doing here? Yeah, I'm just going around these leaves, this color. Yeah, you have to, it's very important to, you know, you only get the one set. So you have to take care of them. What else? Yeah, that's it more or less for this week. Okay, as you can see, I'm flicking my pencil a bit because that helps with blending. But these are really good blending pencils, these Derwent Color Softs. I also have the Derwent Pro Color, which are slightly harder. Well, actually, they're much harder than the Color Softs. And I don't use them that often because they're a harder pencil. And it's like Polychromos are a harder pencil, but they layer beautifully. And the Pro Color, their layering is, it's okay, but not as good as Polychromos. And they're too hard to really blend, but they are very good for fur and for hair. So I do use them for that. So I'm actually coloring in, let's turn it again. Make sure I'm on camera, because last week we had a bit of an accident with being on screen. Yeah, anyway, so I'm coloring the owl in Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson, Tales of the Forest Kingdom. And I use the Pro Color together with the Polychromos for the owl's feathers. Okay, we're gonna put this just a little bit around this mushroom cap, very lightly. Okay, I don't want to go all the way up to the edge. Okay. All right, we're going to go back in with the, do I want to put some of this other green? This is a very bright green. Let's just see what will happen if I blend it with the lime green. 1 second. Oh, actually, yes, I do like that. Let's put a little bit of this in here as well. Okay, so we are green. It's a mid-tone, so we're going to put it between these two colors. Okay. Yeah. So I went to the dentist. And that's it, I think. Next week is a bit of a busy week because there are the academic year is going to be starting in a little while, like a month or so. No, a month and a half, something like that. So my college is starting to prepare. So I've got my teaching schedule, but there are also going to be like enrichment activities and meetings and hold on 1 second. I just realized I did not put this color down at the bottom. Yes, hold on. Let's go back this way. Yeah, so they're going to be like enrichment meetings and, professional development meetings and department meetings. So they're starting next week. And the ones that I have next week are some enrichment meetings that have to do with using AI. I am not a fan of AI. Let's just turn this, to say the least. I feel that I don't allow my students to use it. And the problem is that my college does not have a proper policy about the use of AI. Like, their policy is that every lecturer can decide for themselves. And this is a problem because the students are getting conflicting messages. Some lecturers say no, like me, and others say yes, but you've got to, detail how you're using it. And it's a problem. And I also feel that it's an education college. My students are going to be teachers. And I feel that my college also sort of tends to gloss over the ethics of AI. Whenever we have these meetings and I try to bring up the fact that AI is trained on copyrighted material, they sort of gloss over it. They don't really get into a discussion because they're encouraging the use in the college. They feel that AI should be used, and they're sort of encouraging its use as an aid, as sort of like assistive AI. But the problem is that the students are using it to do their work. They're using generative AI. And so I'm really not happy about that. Anyway, light green. Now we're just going to go over everything with this color, and we're going to get a bit of a glow. Okay, we're blending with this color. Yeah, so next week we have some of those AI enrichment sessions about using AI. As I said, I don't allow my students to use AI because I teach academic writing and I teach literature, and my students have to write papers, and I'm not interested in reading a paper written by AI. I want to make sure that my students have learned and that I get their opinions and their interpretation of the text and their writing skills, because they're going to be teachers and they're going to have to teach their students. So I don't allow it in my classes. I do allow them to use some tools. I never really thought of these tools as AI until someone pointed it out to me. And that is, for example, Grammarly to check their grammar, or what else do I allow them to use? An electronic dictionary to, find synonyms. I even allow them to use synonym.com, a website which can help them find synonyms, because I don't really consider that AI. I don't think using an online dictionary is AI, but it is considered assistive AI. I also allow them to use a tool for building bibliographies. Oh, I like that. That's come out nice. All right, I want to darken up the shadows a little bit. So we're going to take our darkest green again, which is the mid green. Okay, and only in the shadows. Okay. So, yeah. The coloring community has also been inundated now with AI coloring books, and I try to avoid them. So basically, I'm now, unless it's a book published by an artist that I know, or a publisher that I know is human art, I'm avoiding coloring books that even remotely look like they are AI. I think we should support human artists. They work hard, and they should get, our support. And also, AI images are just, they're so generic and boring. Okay, I'm just gonna blend this out here a bit more. Okay. Yeah, so, but sometimes it's hard to tell. The AI images are getting better. I mean, you still have the occasional image that has a leg in the wrong place, or extra fingers, or flowers that look unfinished. And as I said, it's trained on other people's art without their permission. So that's very ethically questionable. I'm hoping the AI trend, fizzles out at some point, that people realize that it's causing more harm than good. It's lots of misinformation and scams and things like that using AI. Everyone needs to watch The Terminator again. Okay. Yes, that looks really nice. I want to put some of this deep cadmium in as well. Just in some places, not everywhere. Okay. Yeah, so that's next week. I have those sessions. Some of them are interesting. I do learn, and I love to learn. So it's not all bad. Yes, that's nice. I think that these flowers need to be a bright color. Maybe pink? So for that, let's put this color in the center to start off with. And then I think I'm going to take this red. Okay, so deep red. Yes, we're going to make them pink. And we're going to just put this color around the edge of the petals. Just a little bit. Wow, these images are so tiny. so tiny. So I'm really just using the very tip of the pencil. And now we're going to blend that out with white. Right, so white, this will, if you blend out the red, you will get pink. Okay, ooh, yes, I like that. And we've got pink in some of our other pictures as well, so it's cohesive. Okay. Let me just brush that off because got some pencil dust. And the loganberry, yes, just to put in the shadows again. Okay. Sorry, I'm quiet because I'm concentrating because this is so tiny. All right. Oh, I like that. Now let's get our white and just put some embellishments. And we're gonna put in these dots that Johanna's given us. I'm always amazed at how much the white dots just give a page character. And like a sense of whimsy. I'm even adding ones that she didn't give us. So it adds a sense of whimsy and mysticalness, is that a word? Mysticalness? Mysticality to a page. Okay, I don't want to overdo it. So there we go, that's enough. All right. So there we have it. There is our second set of mushrooms. Let's zoom out. Right, so this is what our page is looking like right now. We have done this mushroom image so that it's very cohesive with this one. You can see they're pairing, and then we're going to continue on next time to this moth, and we're going to make it look cohesive with this butterfly. So yeah, I think the page is coming along very nicely. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. I hope that you enjoyed coloring and didn't mind my ramblings about AI. And I hope to see you next time. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.